Learned audience, non-attachment is the characteristic of our essence of mind. All things, good or bad, beautiful or ugly, should be treated as void. Even in times of disputes and quarrels, we should treat our intimates and our enemies alike and never think of retaliation. In the exercise of our thinking faculty, let the past be dead. If we allow our thoughts, past, present, and future, to link up in a series, we put ourselves under restraint. On the other hand, if we never let our mind attach to anything, we shall gain emancipation. For this reason, we take non-attachment as our fundamental principle. To keep our mind free from defilement under all circumstances is called idealessness. Our mind should stand aloof from circumstances, and on no account should we allow them to influence the function of our mind. But it is a great mistake to suppress our mind from all thinking, for even if we succeed in getting rid of all thoughts and die immediately thereafter, still we shall be reincarnated elsewhere. In our system of meditation, we neither dwell upon the mind, in contradistinction to the essence of mind, nor upon purity, nor do we approve of non-activity. As to dwelling upon the mind is primarily delusive, and when we realize that it is only a phantasm, there is no need to dwell on it. As to dwelling upon purity, our nature is intrinsically pure, and so far as we get rid of all delusive idea, there will be nothing but purity in our nature. For it is the delusive idea that obscures suchness. If we direct our mind to dwell upon purity, we are only creating another delusion. the delusion of purity. Since delusion has no abiding place, it is delusive to dwell upon it. Purity has neither shape nor form, but some people go so far as to invent the form of purity and treat it as a problem for solution. Holding such an opinion, these people are purity-ridden, and their essence of mind is thereby obscured. Those who train themselves for imperturbability should, in their contact with all types of people, ignore the faults of others. They should be indifferent to others' merit or demerit, good or evil. For such an attitude accords with the imperturbability of the essence of mind. An unenlightened person may be unperturbed physically, but as soon as they open their mouth, they criticize others and talk about their merits or demerits, ability or weakness, good or evil. Thus they deviate from the right course. On the other hand, to dwell upon our own mind or upon purity is also a stumbling block in the path. Learned audience, what is sitting for meditation? In our school, to sit means to gain absolute freedom and to be mentally unperturbed in all outward circumstances, be they good or otherwise. To meditate means to realize inwardly the imperturbability of the essence of mind. The reason why many cannot comprehend the Buddha knowledge is because they speculate on it. They may combine their efforts to speculate, but the more they speculate, the farther they are from the truth. Thus, without shutting your eyes and your ears to keep away the external world, you may reach Buddhahood directly. Now that I have made this plain to you, believe it firmly, and you will be free from delusions forever. Follow not those who seek enlightenment from without. These people talk about Bodhi all the time, but they never find it. To realize that nothing can be seen, but to retain the concept of invisibility is like the surface of the sun obscured by passing clouds. To realize that nothing is knowable, but to retain the concept of unknowability may be likened to a clear sky disfigured by a lightning flash. To let these arbitrary concepts rise spontaneously in your mind indicates that you have misidentified the essence of mind, and that you have not yet found the skillful means to realize it. If you realize for one moment that these arbitrary concepts are wrong, your own spiritual light will shine forth permanently. The Supreme Maha Parinirvana is perfect, permanent, calm, and illuminating. Common people and ignorant ones miscall it death, while heretics hold arbitrarily that it is annihilation. Those who belong to the Shravaka vehicle or the Pratyeka Buddha vehicle regard it as non-action. All these are mere intellectual speculations and form the basis of the 62 fallacious views. Since they are mere fictitious names invented for the occasion, they have nothing to do with the absolute truth. Only those of supereminent mind can understand thoroughly what nirvana is and take up the attitude of neither attachment nor indifference towards it. They know that the 5 khandhas and the so-called ego, arising from the union of these khandhas, together with all external objects and forms, and the various phenomena of sound and voice, are equally unreal, like a dream or an illusion. They make no discrimination between a sage and an ordinary person, nor do they have any arbitrary concept on nirvana. They are above affirmation and negation, and they break the barrier of the past, the present, and the future. They use their sense organs when occasion requires, but the concept of using does not arise. They may particularize on all sorts of things, but the concept of particularization does not arise. Even during the cataclysmic fire at the end of the Kalpa, when ocean beds are burnt dry, or during the blowing of the catastrophic wind, when one mountain topples on another, the real and everlasting bliss of perfect rest and cessation of changes of nirvana remains in the same state and changes not. Here I am trying to describe to you something which is ineffable, so that you may get rid of your fallacious views. But if you do not interpret my words literally, you may perhaps learn a wee bit of the meaning of nirvana. In all things, there is nothing real, and so we should free ourselves from the concept of the reality of objects. One who believes in the reality of objects is bound by this very concept, which is entirely elusive. One who realizes the reality, the essence of mind, within themselves, knows that the true mind is to be sought apart from false phenomena. If one's mind is bound by elusive phenomena, where is reality to be found when all phenomena are unreal? Now, let me show you how to get acquainted with the nature of the sentient beings within your mind, and thereby realize the Buddha nature latent in you. Knowing Buddha means nothing else than knowing sentient beings, for it is the latter who ignore that they are Buddhas in potentiality. Whereas a Buddha sees no difference between themselves and other beings. When sentient beings realize the essence of mind, they are Buddhas. Within our mind, there is a Buddha, and that Buddha within is the real Buddha. If Buddha is not to be sought within our mind, where shall we find the real Buddha? Doubt not that Buddha is within your mind, apart from which nothing can exist. Since all things or phenomena are the production of our own mind, the Sutra says, when mental activity begins, various things come into being. When mental activity ceases, they too cease to exist. imperturbable and serene. The ideal one practices no virtue. Self-possessed and dispassionate. They commit no sin. Calm and silent. They give up seeing and hearing. Even and upright. Their mind abides nowhere.